Ben Bergquam in Arizona trying to get answers as to why the votes are not being counted there. We know the red wave hit that state and hit it hard. Kari Lake and the rest of the candidates there, though, still waiting, just waiting. And we all are waiting for results. Here's the moment that Ben Bergquam was actually kicked out of the Maricopa County. I couldn't believe my eyes on this because only corporate leftist media is allowed. Watch.
I think you'd be willing to talk to me right now.
Last opportunity to move.
Based on
before
what?
You are placed under arrest.
For what?
For refusing to comply with a legal order to leave this property. Do you understand? Are you refusing to leave this property?
I'm not. Clearly I'm walking.
Then keep walking.
But I want to talk to your authority, to your supervisor.
Keep walking. You will when he steps out.
You know, I have to tell you, I'm going to bring in Ben. Ben, welcome to the show. Ben, I have to tell you, seeing that reminded me so much of the day, only this is even, what you went through is even more of a travesty because you're press, and I'm not 100% sure why I was kicked off that airplane on January 7th, but it reminded me of that. Any questions I asked? You're resisting arrest. Wait, what? I'm resisting what? I just got on an airplane to go home. You know, it was absolutely ridiculous. And but it reminded me of that. I was not allowed to ask any questions. They didn't have to tell me why they were kicking me off and telling me I'm a terror threat or why I could never fly again in what I thought was a free country. And all I did on January 6th was go as media, cover it as media. I didn't do anything wrong. I never went near the Capitol. Why was I being kicked off the plane? No, I didn't get to know that. Just I'm kicked off the plane and not allowed to fly, and knowing that would affect my job, as it has been. I'd be out there on the border with you if I could get there. But Ben, why do they really think you are a threat? What are they so afraid of that they can't let you inside with just cameras? You're one of the most congenial, nice guys I've ever met in my life. Strong and firm, but congenial.
Yeah. Yeah, I think clearly they just don't want somebody in there who will ask them questions that they don't have the answers to or they don't want to answer. You see that the press conferences that have been going on, I mean, they're packed with people, and nobody so far has asked the simple question. It was a disaster in 2020. You've had 2 years to fix it, and it's worse today than it was then. Who's responsible and who's getting fired? I mean, they're very simple questions. But I think it's telling that only, as far as I know, the only two news outlets that have been denied credentials. I mean, anybody and their brother, there's people in there with their handy cams. Anybody, it seems like, can get in there except for Real America's Voice News and the Gateway Pundit, which, again, networks that are asking the tough questions. And it's funny that you say that because I actually got the email today because we were waiting. We hadn't officially been denied. That's why I was telling them, I'm like, look, they told me to wait out here. I'm waiting for credentials. I'm part of the press. It doesn't make any sense why I wouldn't be allowed in. Why are you kicking me off property? Went through that whole thing. Well, today we actually got denied. I'm going to read you a portion of what they actually said, their justification. It says, you, A, do not avoid real or perceived conflicts of interest. Well, neither does Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. And B, are not free of associations that would compromise journalistic integrity or damage credibility. Therefore, you are not a bona fide correspondent of repute in your profession. That's what they sent me as their justification with no examples. And then they went on to basically lie about my interaction with them yesterday. There was more to the email with my interaction, basically saying I was dishonest going in there and saying it was just all BS. I mean, it's total BS. Bottom line is they don't want us in there. And really what the truth is, it's actually done more harm for them. I mean, it's created more. It's gone viral. It's shown the hypocrisy. By the way, these are the same people that don't want walls on our southern border, that say walls on our southern border are racist, but they have 3 levels of security here at this building. They've got a new fence. They've got a barricade of sheriff's deputies and then another spiked fence with cameras on the other side of that. And if you walk up to that fence without authorization, it's a county property, which is owned by the citizens of this county. You are threatened with arrest. Yet they're okay with people invading our country 100 miles to the south of us. It's absolutely hypocritical, but it's not surprising coming from the people that allowed January 6th to happen so that they could create political prisoners, ignored, or actually I would say orchestrated BLM and Antifa burning down our country for 4 years and let them off the hook. there is two standards of justice in America today. That's what we're living through.
True.
But it's also why we're out here exposing the truth. Whether I'm inside the building or outside the building, we're going to keep exposing the truth and ultimately get to the bottom of this. Kerry Lake's going to be governor, and hopefully with this new state Senate and House, they will actually fix the election laws in Arizona that are just an absolute disaster and a joke for the rest of the country.
What an absolute travesty, especially on Veterans Day. This is not what veterans fought for, so that illegals could come in on our southern border with no wall, and free press, who is honest and true, would be kept out of the Maricopa County headquarters. This is just disgusting. Ben, all we want them to do is count the votes. That's it. And we appreciate you being there to cover it. Keep exposing it. And everybody, check out Ben's social media. Retweet what he's repost what he's posting, and make sure we stand and have his back. Ben, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. G.